Nathaniel, please come here. Nathaniel, come read a story with me. Okay, come on. Please sit with me. And you're not
And I love ninjas too.
Oh, can you smile for the camera?
YouTube, I think that she's getting mad.
Please stop. Hello families, welcome to social distancing from the Gardner household. Nathaniel, this is my son Nathaniel, and I am Ashley Gardner.
Church.
I'm the director of children's ministries at MLEPC. Nathaniel, where are we right now?
22 Hazel Drive.
You don't need to give our address, and that actually isn't our address. Where are we right now?
In our house, we have to stay here for a couple of weeks.
We had to stay here for a couple weeks. You know, that seemed like a big thing at first. That seemed kind of scary, didn't it?
And it's boring.
It's boring. Was it a boring day today?
No.
Tell them about what we did today.
We go down a walk, a very, very long walk.
Who did we take on the walk?
My our dog Daisy.
Our dog Daisy. What else did we do today?
Played with chalk with our dog Daisy.
Took Daisy outside and played with some chalk. So it was actually a really, really good day. So even though we're kind of in isolation, it was fun. It was nice to be a family together and spend some time together. So we're going to be reading out of this. Nathaniel, what is this?
The Jesus Storybook Bible. My favorite Bible.
The Jesus Storybook Bible. It is not only his favorite Bible, but my favorite Bible as well. It is absolutely wonderful. If your family does not have one, let me know and we can get one to you guys. I can even drop it off at your door. It is a Bible that is geared towards, I would say, preschool to maybe 2nd or 3rd grade. And it brings Jesus into literally every single story of the Bible, all the way from the beginning, so all the way from creation to the throne room of God, and talks about how Jesus is a part of the story, and it is absolutely beautiful. So as we are doing social distancing, and as I'm not able to see a lot of your families quite as much, what we're going to do is we're going to be doing story time from the Gardner household. You're going to get to sit here with me and Nathaniel. Maybe Thea will join us some of the time. But we're going to do some story times together, and would love for you to follow at home in your own Bible as we're reading. So let me know truly if you would like one of these Jesus Storybook Bibles, or an older kid, or even an adult Bible, and I'd be happy to bring one over for you. Nathaniel, what story are we going to read today?
Jesus calmed the water.
When Jesus calmed the storm. So I was asking Nathaniel today if we were going to be telling the church kids and Fired Up Friday kids a story that would help them to not be afraid. What story would that be? And Nathaniel thought that Jesus calming the storm would be a good one. And I actually thought that it would be perfect for what's going on right now in our world. So Nathaniel's finding our story for us. It's called Captain of the Sea, I believe. You still looking? We're getting closer. Let's see. Okay. So I was wrong. Not Captain of the Storm, or Captain of the Sea. It's Captain of the Storm. So this is what it looks like. If you're following along in your Jesus Storybook Bible, it's page 236. Nathaniel, what do you think about this picture? Do you want to come look?
I see a picture of it.
Yeah, what do you think of it? What do you think of this one?
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's pretty. Does it look like a rough sea or a calm sea right now?
Calm.
A calm sea. Okay, so we're going to read and see what happens. The sun was going down. The air was warm and still. Let's go across the lake, Jesus said to his friends. Jesus had been helping people all day, and now he was tired. Oh, can you yawn? So they left the crowds at the shore and set out in a small fishing boat.
I did a reel.
You did a real yawn. Good. Jesus climbed into the boat to take a nap. Okay, let me see you. Pretend you're going to sleep. Maybe curl up on the couch. You at home, pretend like you're taking a nap. Okay, He was tired. He was relaxed. As soon as his head touched the pillow, he fell asleep. It was a beautiful evening. A gentle breeze rustled the sails. Let me see you do a breeze. Go. The friends were chatting happily as they headed out into the middle of the lake. Everything was perfect, just right for a nice and quiet sail. Uh-oh. Does this look nice and quiet? Are you making the sound effects?
Yeah.
You can do sound effects at home too. They were about halfway across when, out of nowhere, a whirling wind swept across the lake. Let me hear the whirling winds. Across the lake, fierce and strong like a hurricane. A blinding flash of lightning lit up the sky. Thunder roared right overhead. The storm blew the water into towering waves that hurled the little boat up and up and up, then sent it hurtling, crashing, back down, down, down. The fishing boat was blown and buffeted and tossed and turned back and forth and up and down and left and right and round and round. And in the middle of the storm, Jesus was
Asleep.
He was sleeping. If it was storming really hard and you were in the middle of a boat, I think you'd be going back and forth and getting thrown about. Do you think you'd be able to sleep?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think you're a very sound sleeper. I think you would have woken up. Would you have been scared?
Yeah, I would just wake right up and just say,
They can't see you.
ow.
Would you have been scared?
No.
I think I would have been scared. Why don't you think Jesus was scared? You can't be scared if you're asleep.
No.
Why wasn't he scared?
Because he was the Lord's
He was what?
son.
He was God's son. And he had God's power. So he knew he had nothing to fear. Okay, let's see what happens next. Now Jesus' friends had been fishermen all their lives, but in all their years fishing on this lake, they had never once seen a storm like this one. No matter how hard they struggled with their ropes and sails, they couldn't control their boat. This storm was too big for them. You know what? The storm we're going through right now. What storm are we in right now? It's not a storm with wind and waves. What's going wrong right now?
It's a storm with
What's the
sickness.
illness going? Yeah, with sickness. What's the sickness that's going around right now?
coronavirus.
Coronavirus. I have to say, it seems so big that we can't handle it either. It's nothing like anything I've ever seen before, and I think a lot of even our medical professionals feel that way. That's how the disciples felt. They were absolutely terrified. But once again, was Jesus terrified?
Even the doctors, they could not stop this.
Yeah, even the doctors can't stop it. So Jesus wasn't terrified of this storm. Do you think God is terrified, Nathaniel? Do you think God is terrified of the current storm, the current illness? Nathaniel, do you think God is terrified of the illness of coronavirus?
No.
No. Okay, let's look and see what happened with this storm. Oh, look, he's holding on for dear life, it looks like. But the storm wasn't too big for Jesus. Help! They screamed. Wake up, quick! Jesus opened his eyes. Nathaniel, please don't move it. Rescue us! Save us! They shrieked. Don't you care? Of course Jesus cared, and this was the very reason he had come, to rescue them and to save them. Jesus stood up and he spoke to the storm. Hush, he said. That's all. That's it. He looked at the wind and the waves, and he did a hush. He said, "Peace, be still." And then the strangest thing happened. What happened when he said, "Peace, be still"? What happened? Did the storm keep going?
No.
What happened to it?
The storm.
Instantly. Like that. What happened to the storm? Those big waves, those lightning bolts, the thunder. What happened?
It beat.
Instantly.
It beat calm.
It went absolutely calm and still. Absolutely still. Look at how pretty that is. The wind and the waves recognized Jesus' voice. They had heard it before, of course. It was the same voice that made them in the very beginning. They listened to Jesus and they did what he said. Immediately, the wind stopped. The water calmed down. It glittered innocently in the moonlight and lapped quietly against the side of the boat as if nothing had happened. The little boat bobbed gently up and down. There was a deep stillness and great quiet all around. Then Jesus turned to his wind-torn friends. "Why were you scared?" he asked. "Did you forget who I am? Did you believe your fears instead of me?" Jesus' friends were quiet as the wind and the waves, and into their hearts came a different kind of storm. "What kind of man is this?" they asked themselves anxiously. "Even the winds and the waves obey him," they said, because they didn't understand. They didn't realize yet that Jesus was... Who was Jesus?
God's son.
They didn't realize that Jesus was God's son. Jesus' friends had been so afraid they had only seen the big waves. They had forgotten that if Jesus was with them, then they had nothing to be afraid of, no matter how small their boat or how big the storm. All right, Nathaniel, come back over here. So I think this story is so important for right now. It is so easy to be afraid. There's a lot of adults that are afraid, and you know what? I think there's probably kids that are afraid too. There's the stuff that's going on right now. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how it's going to end. We don't even know what tomorrow is going to look like. It seems like stuff is changing pretty quickly. If you would have told me a week and a half ago that we wouldn't really be leaving our house, I would have said you were crazy. And here we are. We've been at our house quite a lot lately. But you know what? Just like this book said, just like the Bible said, no matter how big the storm, no matter how little the boat, who is still in control? Nathaniel, who is still in control?
I have a Lego boat book.
Okay, so if that boat was against a really big storm, who would still be in control?
Sharks are part of storms.
Who would still be?
Sawfish. That's a sawfish.
It's a swordfish.
No, it's a saw.
Okay. Who would be in control? No matter how big the storm, no matter how little the boat, who's in control?
God.
God. God is in control no matter what. And we know that we can trust in God. God is the one who's calling the shots. God does know what tomorrow looks like. God knows what the next couple months look like. And God is big enough to handle it. So I encourage you, I've been encouraging my boys to not be afraid, to trust in God, just like the disciples trusted in him. We have a God that when the storms come, he's relaxed. He's not stressed right now. He's still on his throne. So don't be afraid. Enjoy this time with your families. Go out, take some walks, draw with sidewalk chalk, make memories in your house, build forts out of pillows and blankets, and get into God's Word. Spend time together as a family. Draw close to your Savior and know that he is there. Know that he really is the only one that knows the future right now. Even the doctors, the government, they don't know what's going to happen, but God does. He is the one that we're able to fully depend on. And I encourage you to take a step of faith. I've been telling the Fired Up Friday kids that is to trust God. Take a leap of faith and pray and see what God does.
We'll see you tomorrow with another story. Bye.
Have a great day, and we love you guys. We'll see you soon.